what makes your program so unique and that type of training that you do, and how you came up with this.
I wish I could be the one that says it was all me, but it wasn't. I learned everything I did from another organization that gave me my dog originally, Special Operations Wounded Warriors. They gave me my dog 7 years ago, and I fell in love with the dog. And I was never a dog handler. I took some bites while I was on active duty, but I was never a handler. But once I learned to communicate with a dog, I just wanted to do everything with the dog. I learned the philosophy, and then I started embedding dogs and training dogs and taking dogs to clients. And then that shifted over to helping out nonprofits and helping them train their dogs and everything, with just learning all the different avenues and perspectives of doing all the different types of trainings and involved with the different organizations. I decided that we needed more dogs out there. I decided I wanted to stand up a program, but I didn't want it to be like everybody else's. I didn't want a cookie cutter program. I wanted this to be by the individual, because every individual's needs are different, even though we may have the same type problems. For me, I took the good and the bad out of all these different organizations that I worked with. And then I looked at what was the outcome? What do I want my dogs to do? And do I want them to actually be true service dogs, or do I just want them to be obedient dogs that can just walk and go with the guys and gals and just be there? And for me, I know I needed a true service dog. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to half-ass it. I'm going to go and do it the full effect. I just revisited my old school train of thought. Be the best.
Yeah, not your mentality to half-ass it. No.
So,
not your style.
So I start the puppies between 8 and 6 week old. It's very obedience based. I train the dogs like soldiers. I train them like they're going to be little special forces or Navy SEAL guys running across the beach or whatever, right? And I do that from the mindset of a soldier too, right? I don't bond with these dogs, and there's a reason, right? Because these dogs need a bond with their handler. And my guys will tell you, every one of them that's received these dogs are trying to bond with them immediately, because they've been with me for a whole year of doing training, and it's every day the same training, basically every day. Like, training doesn't stop once these guys get their dogs. Every step through their life as they go outside in the public, it's a training event. So the way I train these dogs is through that same type of philosophy. They go through my life with me, and I train them as they go through my life, and that covers the obedience. Then we train the working side of them, right? I train the scent side of them. If I got a guy that's got PTSD, and all my dogs are trained primarily for PTSD, and they'll stop about 98% of the attacks from happening, and I do that by using cortisol levels to train the guys and gals, and I use their handlers' cortisol to train their dogs. So before they really even meet the guy or the gal on a permanent basis, they already know who their handler is, because they have been trained on their scent.
Now, when do you know? Like, when you get the dog, well, we worked with Bear, right? 6 months old, you get them, 6 to 8 weeks. Like, do you know, okay, this is going to be their handler, like the moment you get the dog, or is it like later on you learn?
I don't. I may have an idea where I want the dog to go. You got to remember, these guys are starting from like little bitty hairballs, and by the time they're done, it's been a year. So they're going to go through changes in their personality and stuff. I don't try to adjust their personality, because what it allows me to do is see what the dog is truly about. And then, as long as the recipient is honest, right, and truthful about what they're looking for in a dog and what they need, then I'm able to check out the personality of the dog itself and match that personality with the guys and gals. And I do that, like I said, by multiple assets, right? I do it by what kind of dog do they want? What are they interested in? Are they wanting a more type A type of dog? Are they wanting more of a type B dog, or something that's going to be more chill? And then I got to watch how the dogs grow up and do their training. So I may place a dog with a guy initially as a puppy, because that's what I see them happen initially. But as that puppy changes, and then we get the therapy involved, and the guys and gals get to play with these dogs and interact with these dogs and complete tasks with these dogs under stress, then I get to see, who's actually working well together, who's getting benefits, who's trying to bond, because these dogs are picking their handlers. If I just try to put a dog with somebody and I don't try to match the personality, the dog's not going to have anything to do with the guy or gal. But if I watch the dog, and I can actually kind of mold the dog's behavior as well. So if I have a specific dog that really needs to go to a specific person, I can mold that dog just by every day working it and basically getting into a routine, and then teaching the dog exactly what. And that's what I do. I don't train the dogs necessarily to do anything special, minus the scent work with the cortisol. But I allow dogs to be dogs, because dogs are going to tell you what they're going to do before they do it. They're going to be dogs. And as soon as we start trying to teach a dog to be something else, they're no longer dogs, right? So my thing is to keep them in a mindset of being a dog, just watch them grow, learn their personalities, and then match them. For instance, if I had a guy that wanted to go mountain climbing all the time, right, and he was going to want to take his dog with him, we may give him a lighter, smaller type dog, because he's going to have to hoist him up cliffs or whatnot, or the dog's going to have to be more agile. But if we got a guy that is going to be not so active, right, just a guy that just needs to go to work and come back home and just get into a routine, maybe we get a dog that's just not as athletic, right, or not interested in that, because all dogs have their own personalities. So we watch the dogs grow, we watch the people, and then as they get to that 8-month mark is when I try to start placing them permanently based off of each personality of the dog and the people.